NBA Friday continues on ESPN from the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver, Colorado. The Cleveland Cavaliers bring the best record in the Eastern Conference at 23-15 to take on the 18-17 Nuggets. Here are tonight's starting lineups. Eric Snow, Larry Hughes, LeBron James, Drew Gooden, Zydrunas Ilgauskas for the Cavs. It's Allen Iverson and Steve Blake making his second start with Linas Kleza, Eduardo Najera, and Marcus Camby. Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, John Barry, Kara Lawson. Glad you're with us tonight. Here from Denver.
Critically important game for both teams, Mike. You've got the Cleveland Cavaliers atop the Eastern Conference coming in here after an embarrassing loss the other night against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers surging in the Northwest Division, and then the Denver Nuggets really trying to hold on until they get their main star back, Carmelo Anthony, a huge burden on the shoulders of little Allen Iverson tonight.
John, your thoughts?
I agree. It's a critical game. Cleveland has lost 2 in a row. They go to Golden State tomorrow night, a team that's going to get up and down, going to have some new players, probably a new resurgent, energetic Warrior team. So tonight is very critical for the Cavaliers. And it's funny that you say they're the best team in the East, record-wise. It just doesn't really seem like this would be the best team in any conference.
7th best record in the NBA. Marcus Camby gets on the board with the first field goal of the night.
Control of the paint will be critical. These are 2 of the top 4 rebounding teams in the NBA. Denver at 2nd, Cleveland at 4th. Who will dominate the glass?
Whoever misses more shots, Bill.
LeBron averaging 27 per, 7th in the league. It's the first hoop for the Cavaliers.
Welcome to the NBA, Linas Kleza. By the way, you've got LeBron James tonight.
For the moment.
Tough pass by Marcus Camby. One of the best high post passers in the league. Just could not read Linas Kleza's seal off of LeBron James.
Here's Eric Snow. He did not score in 15 minutes of action in the loss to Portland a couple of nights ago. As a matter of fact, he did not even take a shot.
It's tough to score if you don't shoot. Isomized.
Very good. Very good. It's a rare turnover for Eric Snow. Usually takes care of the ball so well. He's one of 9 players in the NBA. Has 4,000 assists for a career right now.
Beautiful ball movement. Steve Blake, he's got to make that layup.
$12 to shoot for James.
Clear out.
Taking Kleza. Lost the handle. And back come the Nuggets. With Blake, who's been a Nugget for 8 days. To Reggie Evans. Draws the contact. And let's see if the basket will count. Nope.
John, I know that my hearing is not what it used to be, but are you hearing boos from the crowd whenever LeBron touches the ball?
I did.
Did you hear boos during LeBron James' introduction? What has he done wrong?
It's just that good.
Kleza rattles it in. Linas Kleza, the second-year man out of Missouri. And it's Denver up by 2.
And what a story Linas Kleza is. We'll get into that during the course of this evening. Long game here tonight.
Longer than most. Have they added time to the game tonight? Here's Hughes from the elbow. And Larry Hughes, who's averaging 14.5 per game, ties the game at 4.
No, Mike, but when you have a game of this magnitude, it's going to be stretched out. There will be extra timeouts and the strategy down the stretch. Iverson just too good.
This is there. And always good to know that in the big games you get extra timeouts. Here is James running wild, crazy shot. Rebounded, but Gooden missed the dunk. And here goes Marcus Camby. Pushing, leading, taking, making, and one.
The 7-footer, Marcus Camby. What looked like Bob Cousy.
One of the few times you'll see a postman go coast to coast. But Drew Gooden, he has to make that offensive rebound stick-back opportunity. You start missing dunks early in the game, that could set the whole tone and allow this raucous crowd here in Denver to really get on track and push their team to a much-needed victory.
I think Marcus Camby and this front line for the Nuggets, when Carmelo gets back, the front line is really what is concerning this team. George Karl, with the health of Nene. Marcus Camby in and out of the lineup, throughout his career. If that front line can stay intact, this team could make a nice run in the second half of the season.
It will be interesting to see what George's ultimate power lineup will be. Oh, nice ball movement, Larry Hughes. Such a barometer for this Cavalier team. When he plays, and then certainly when he plays well, they are nearly unbeatable.
After the Ilgauskas basket makes it a one-point game, Camby tried to convert. He has 5 of the Denver 7. Hughes in transition and 1.
Great pass, Eric Snow. Coach Mike Brown just saying, all I want Eric to do is run the team. And that's what he does.
But a much more spirited effort and performance in the early going than we're seeing from the Cavaliers tonight, when Mike Brown's Cavs only put up a pathetic 9 points against the Portland Trailblazers in the opening quarter.
And 76 for the game to go along with 7 assists for the game.
But give the Blazers credit. They're coming.
It's a good young team. Oh,
Iverson. Rebound by Reggie Evans. Blake a 3. And James gets the rebound. Hughes is off. Evans keeps it alive. Iverson credit for the board.
quick shot, bad shot, no offensive rebound possibilities there. And that's what's troubled Cleveland their past 3 or 4 losses.
Snow tried to drop it for good, and there's 2 turnovers for Snow in the early going.
Steve Blake is playing so well. Now just his 3rd game for his new team, the Nuggets. Hack on the arm.
Leon Eric Snow, his first team 3rd.
I thought it was a good move bringing Steve Blake over. I know Earl Boykin's a fan favorite here, but really a shot first point guard. And with Carmelo coming back on Monday, you can't have another guy that wants shots with the 2 great 30-point scorers that they have.
But from a basketball perspective, it was not a good move. This was all about the financial aspects of saving $10 million. Iverson down the lane. Ilgauskas, he didn't even turn.
He didn't see him.
After missing his first 3, Iverson hits his first field goal, and it is 9-8, Denver by 1.
John, why as a big man you would ever take your eye off the ball? Your responsibility as the backline defender, you have to know every single breakdown on the perimeter.
Six to shoot, James. Setting up Snow, who takes a shot for the first time in the game of the quarter, missed it. Rebound by Marcus Camby for the 3rd time tonight.
And the way Camby's dribbling it up, these guards have to realize that Blake and Iverson and start releasing early. Reggie Evans.
And 1, blowing your fingers, Reggie. That's what he's been doing. He's been making field goals of late.
He does it when he makes a free throw, Mike.
He gives you like the right hand fist pump.
The Tiger Woods fist pump on the free throw. Bit.
Just right in the face of Drew Gooden, who has no chance whatsoever.
So Gooden picks up his first personal. All 4 starters, all the starters except for James, I should say, have picked up the foul. Let's watch if Evans clutches his fist after this free throw make, if he makes it. Let's see, maybe a lane violation on Ilgauskas. So Reggie will get 1 more.
I think when you have a really poor free throw shooter at the line, Shaq, Reggie Evans. that rule should not be utilized. There has to be some discretion by the referees to just let the game go on. Now I'm old enough to remember the days when they used to give you 3 to make 2.
3 to make 2. Yeah. They need to go back to that.
I needed them.
Evans known for rebounding and defense. That time he fouls Drew Gooden. Bill?
Mike, that was a classic example of how not to play defense in the post. Reggie Evans, as soon as his man Drew Gooden got the ball, Reggie Evans stood up straight and put his hands in the air. That's basically like playing against the statue, against the dummy defense. Drew Gooden just identified that immediately and earned this well-deserved trip to the line.
The piano playing, finish born Gooden has 1 more coming.
Finland. I thought he's from California. Richmond,
Father
California.
Andrew played professional basketball in Finland.
Thank you.
4th overall pick 5 years ago. 0 for at the line. It's 0 for 3 from the Cavs at the stripe.
And what concerto is Drew Gooden working on now?
I'll get you. Do you have an answer? Is that
No, I do not.
Set up to a funny line?
No.
Canby with the dunk, and it's a 5-point Denver lead. I don't know, but I'll ask him for the next time we see him.
Well, just during one of the free throws, maybe we can get Carol Lawson to go over an update. I tell you, Mike Brown cannot be happy with the porous defense by his Cavaliers. They do not look like the best team in the Eastern Conference right now.
Can't be happy with that shot selection there from Drew Gooden.
Here goes Iverson, shut off by Snow. Canby. He loves that jumper. Right up there, right around the ring at the top of the key. Bend it back over his ear. And Mike Brown will take a timeout. Marcus Camby has scored 9 points here on 4 of 5 shooting. In the early going, the Nuggets shoot 54%, and they lead 15-8. Back here in Denver, Nuggets leading the Cavs 15-8. LeBron James with a greeting for George Karl as he comes down, set to check it in. George Karl used to coach the Cavs. Mike Brown got his coaching career start in Denver as a video assistant.
Mike, I'm a little concerned about Cleveland. We are not seeing a spark. We are not seeing an anger and an edge. Coming off 2 straight losses. This is the type of game that LeBron James and his Cavaliers have to come out and just make a statement.
Here is James around Kleza on the handoff. Gooden lost the handle, but it was fouled in the end. First foul on Marcus. Team third, and here's Drew Gooden at the line.
John Barry, why has Drew Gooden been unable to find team, a groove, a rhythm since he got drafted 4th out of Kansas?
Well, you know what? I liked him in Orlando. That surprised me that they got rid of him. I thought he was playing well. He's inconsistent. I like his game. I mean, he's a good offensive rebounder. You can go to the post to him at certain times. Plays hard.
Don't you guys think this is a good fit for him, being a player with a LeBron James in the starring role? I think it gives him the best chance to offensive rebound, get some easy baskets.
Yes, but a player like Drew Gooden should be even doing more. Kleza from out beyond the arc.
Kleza, who has hit the 3 at 27% this year.
He's taking it to LeBron James.
It's Ilgauskas inside. Z gets his first shoot. That 3 by Kleza was his 14th on the season.
Now, if you're Cleveland, you've had great success getting inside. No more jump shots. Denver in a zone. Get the ball inside. Let Z become a factor.
Unbalanced floor for Allen Iverson. No place for him to operate.
They shut off the Campy jumper. He drives it all the way. Marcus Camby has 11 of the Denver 20. When we were here last week, Camby set an NBA season high for defensive rebounds in the game.
Oh, what a look.
With 18, good in the dunk.
What a pass. LeBron James, no look. Great bounce to Drew Gooden, and that's what we're talking about. Drew Gooden could get a lot of those playing with LeBron James.
And Ilgauskas rebounds the Iverson miss.
Well, LeBron James is such a willing and beautiful passer. You'd think you'd be on the move constantly instead of standing around watching.
Setting up Gooden. Ilgauskas unable to keep it, battling with Reggie Evans.
He turns the corner, and when Reggie Evans steps out there, there's no defensive rotation whatsoever to shut down Drew Gooden. That's Lennis Kleza's responsibility to drop back after the switch is made.
That's just something you don't teach right there. LeBron James never even looked. Just knew that Drew Gooden was going to be there.
We've got some subs in here. Eduardo Nahara, J.R. Smith in for Denver. Anderson Varejao and Damon Jones will come in at the next dead ball for Cleveland.
Mismatch inside Kleza. He can just take Eric Snow to school. What a pass. What a pass. John, this is the best I've ever seen Lennis Kleiza play. He has come to meet the LeBron James challenge.
He has answered it thus far, Bill. You're right.
And free throws coming for the Cavs.
But a question. With Cleveland shooting so poorly from the perimeter, why are they giving up penetrating drives along the baseline? I mean, just get out there and just play position. Go ahead and shoot all you want from the outside.
Larry Hughes comes to the line for 2, and while we have a second, let's check in with Kara Lawson. Kara?
Well, guys, J.R. Smith experiencing some flu-like symptoms, including stomach ache and throwing up. He did not participate in this morning's shoot-around. He got an IV after shoot-around. I talked to him today before the game. He said he was ready to go. Back to you.
Okay, Kara, thank you. It is a form of the virus that is going around throughout the country.
How come we didn't get it? We were here all week last week.
You didn't?
Oh, you got it?
I got it.
I didn't get it from here. I got it a couple of weeks ago, actually, on vacation.
You had a vacation?
Yes, Bill.
It's the basketball season.
Smith for 3. JR. See, always beware of the sick performer. JR knocks down a 3. And the Denver lead is 7. They've led by as many as 8. And here's Gooden.
Denver appears to be the better team tonight, by far.
J.R. Smith better get used to being open when you get Carmelo Anthony out there and Allen Iverson.
Oh, Iverson. You can see how in the world he was going to get a shot up on that serpentine move, and he'll get some free throws. And Danielle Marshall's going to check in here for Cleveland.
Few players in the history of the game better at getting to the free throw line than Allen Iverson. His uncanny ability to initiate the contact. The little guy just gets in there and throws his body right into you. Iverson only has 1 basket made, but he does have 3 assists, getting everyone involved early. Turns the corner and then goes all the way back and finds himself without a shot at all. But because he's able to jump into Varejao, then he gets this trip to the line for 2 more. 9-point lead in Cleveland. Again, a slow start.
Doesn't hurt to be Allen Iverson either when you get that whistle.
I don't believe that.
James rises up. Another guy who gets to the line with great frequency. Not as much this year as last. All LeBron's numbers down slightly. That's going to be a carry on J.R. Smith, and it will be Cleveland ball after this timeout. Line started in for Marcus Camby, 11.6 rebounds. He might have a double-double before the first game of NBA Friday's over. Denver leads by 9. 25-16. Denver on top. 2:45 to go here in the first. Cavaliers leading the Bulls by a game in the Central. Utah won this evening, so Denver is 5.5 back in their division. James guarded by Iverson on the blow-by. Couldn't get the reverse. Varejao and Nahara, you guarantee they're going to the floor. And he joins him in his jump ball. Nahara and Varejao are on the all-floor burn team.
And we're going to have a lot of fun watching them go head-to-head tonight. Tough shot by LeBron. Too many clutches that time, but Nahara is just playing with too many injuries right now. Marcus Camby should easily control this tip.
One-handed rebound there. Got to rebound the ball with 2 hands.
Look out, look out. Loose ball foul on Camby as Varejao, when they missed the tip the first time, took a Camby hand in the face.
Oh, Varejao grabbed Marcus Camby's hand. That should have been a foul. Should have been a foul on Anderson Varejao on the jump ball. Marcus Camby upset as can be.
Looked like the old wrist wrestling. Remember the wrist wrestling on Wide World of Sports from Petaluma, California? Remember that, Bill? Varejao missed.
I'm not that old, Mike.
No, that was one of the great events. I'm just sad I was never allowed to work on that. I thought of entering as a contestant.
You did?
Yes. But then when they saw my wrist, they said no.
I believe we have 2 free throws coming here for Varejao.
Well, they called a violation on the first of the 2 free throws. When you get called for a violation on the first of 2 free throws, you know you've completely lost your mind. Marcus Camby, George Karl had to take him out to just calm him down a little bit. But he's got a beef because he was grabbed on that jump.
Camby with 2 fouls. Varejao eventually makes the free throws. He has his first 2 points of the night. 25-18, Denver by 7. Nene is in the game looking for position on the fellow Brazilian, Varejao. And on the kick, it'll be 14 to shoot for the Nuggets. Here comes Yakuba Diawara, the rookie out of Pepperdine, checking in for the Nuggets. He'll join J.R. Smith, Nahara, Nene, and Iverson, 14 to shoot. Iverson right to the cup, wards off Marshall, but missed.
Hard to see how that's not a foul. Which just flies right in the face of your comment, John, that Iverson gets the benefit of the doubt from the officials. And
I was wrong.
The perimeter jumpers just will not go down for Cleveland. Mike Brown just going to pull his hair out.
Bill?
Yes?
He's bald. Here is Smith. Short. Daniel Marshall leads this 4-on-2 with LeBron pitching to Jones for 3.
Wow. Watch your face.
Marshall down the lane.
Get the ball inside. Quit shooting jump shots. This team has scored everything inside the paint. Get the ball to the basket.
Cleveland has not played well, and they're only down 5. Once LeBron gets into his rhythm and starts taking over, watch out.
Iverson was 1 of 6. LeBron 1 of 5 before that hoop. Allen's second now. Puts Denver on top by 7, Bill.
Larry Hughes is an outstanding individual defender. He's done a nice job on Allen Iverson.
Varejao. Miss.
How many shots have just barely rimmed out for this Cavaliers squad? It looks like they've been on the road for 2 weeks.
Diawara. And he now draws the defensive assignment on James. Guarded McGrady here a week ago, did a decent job. LeBron's drawing a lot of defensive attention, as always, and Nahara is called for the foul.
Along the baseline, Allen Iverson, unstoppable. Everybody's watching him, but Diawara knows that Iverson will give it up anytime he's double or triple teamed. How nice would it be to play with a player as great as Allen Iverson, who now has 4 assists on the evening, young as it is.
Do the people who stand behind the basket, like stand up and yell, really think that they're a factor?
Mike, they've done studies on that.
Have they?
Yes.
I'm looking, there's a woman in a green necklace and a black sweater who's like waving at LeBron. It's just this person.
Yes. Yeah. She wants an autograph.
Look at this person. She is just working it hard here.
And this, Mike, the studies that they've done have shown that it only really works when it's an orchestrated.
Back and forth kind of.
Right.
Who's they that did these surveys?
These are psychological people who come in and analyze the results of what happens in the brainwaves. Good defense from rotation by Varejao. We'll get back to that as the game moves on.
Yeah, okay. We'll get that update very soon. Stand by. Oh, gosh. 15 to shoot for James. Sees the double. The floater won't go. Cavs have been atrocious. 7 of 22 shooting in this quarter. James is 1 of 6. Denver ball, shot clock off.
You say atrocious, yet they're only down 7. They make 1 shot, and they're right back in this game. They can get a defensive stop.
But, you know, we're talking about the team with the best record in the East. They've just lost to Seattle, just lost to Portland. But you got to come out here and be serious. They're just like they're not even serious. The shot selection is horrible. Every time they get in the paint, they score, and yet they still continue to shoot jump shots.
It's a little zone here at the end of the quarter. It is Smith for 3. Rebound, Nahara could not squeeze it. 2.4 to go. Cavs with a chance.
I mean, this is where LeBron James has got to step up and say, enough. I've got Lanus Kleiza on me. Give me the ball, clear it out, and let's get this losing streak out of here.
But Cleveland have 7 baskets, 6 of them are in the paint. They cannot buy one from the perimeter.
The rookie Daniel Gibson missing that long heave. At the end of the first quarter, James scored 4, Iverson 6. Denver by 7. The second quarter begins with LeBron James on the bench. He was 1 of 6 for 4 points in the first quarter. It is a Denver 29-22 lead as the Nuggets play the first of a back-to-back. They go to Houston tomorrow. Varejao along with Snow, James, Gibson, and Marshall, the 5 for Mike Brown's Cavs. 2 to shoot, Varejao. Bumped by Nene, and free throws coming.
Well, what is Allen Iverson doing, tipping it in for the other team?
Let's see.
No, he will not count. It has to go in from the guy who shot the ball, which is Anderson Varejao.
Well, it could be a goaltending, Bill.
Allen Iverson did not goaltend the ball. It was Iverson, wasn't it?
That was.
Yes. Has 2 now on Nene and 2 on Marcus Camby as well. So not a bunch of bigs and foul trouble here. Early on for Denver.
Varejao's rugged play inside has not been matched by the Denver Nuggets. Greg Willard Scott Wall trying to explain to Mike Brown why that basket would not count.
Varejao, who is one of the few Cavs who had a good run the last couple of games, 7 of 9 shooting in his last 3 games after a 4 for 19 run.
How about the fact that Cleveland's already taken 13 free throws?
Compared to just 4 for Denver, here is Nene on Varejao out off the Cavaliers.
Just missed. Wow.
I know that knee hurts, but I don't know if that had much to do with his right hand or on the layup.
It's his right knee. That's the problem, which is not, fortunately for him, it's not his jumping knee as a right-handed player. Oh, horrendous inbound pass by J.R. Smith.
Nene, you were talking about his right knee. He's missed 16 games with his knee injury. 6 to shoot, Smith to trigger.
Trigger is the right word with J.R. Smith. He's looking to jack it up.
Iverson.
I'm sure Eric Snow remembers that from his days in Philly.
Stepped out of bounds, stepped into the court. Anderson Varejao, a turnover. The Nuggets are right on it, and Cleveland looks very sluggish. Looks like they left their game in Portland. Picks up the ball, tries to go in, steps into the court, and that is clearly a violation.
No, you know what? They brought their game from Portland when they got smacked.
Smith, 10 to shoot. Nene. Rebound, Donyell Marshall. All right, Jonesy, thank you, and we welcome everyone to the Mile High City where the Nuggets lead by 8. They've led by as many as 9. The Cavs only had a brief lead, a 1-point lead earlier on in this game at 8-7. There's J.R. Smith with the hoop to extend that Nuggets lead to 10. Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, John Barry, and Kara Lawson with you here in Denver. You want to know what the Stars are doing? LeBron is on the bench. He has 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting, and Iverson 3 of 8, 8 points. And you're so excited to hear what Bill Walton has to say, you're going to have to wait through the break. Isn't that amazing? And we'll hear what Barry has to say, too. Be right back here in Denver. Well, LeBron James hit his first shot. He missed his next 5. And this Cleveland team, 23-15, best record in the East, struggling here down 10. Mike Tirico, the Hall of Famer Bill Walton, and John Barry. So what has Denver done thus far, JB, to keep LeBron James with 1 of 6 in the field?
Well, George Karl has a philosophy called the tough twos. Keep LeBron off the free throw line. No layups, no dunks, no open threes. Basically, he needs to not show up, and that'll work.
Right.
But anyway, they're doing a nice job. He's 1 of 6 to start. They're doing a nice job.
Gives you an idea of some of those defensive principles that were preached to the Nuggets. Not known, Bill, as a great defensive team, but they've done a good job scrapping against a thus far uninspired Cleveland crew.
And it's surprising that Cleveland would come in and play such a unemotional game. They've lost 2 straight on the road to Seattle and Portland. They had a devastating loss at Portland, and that has continued over. They have got to show why they have broken out as the top team in the Eastern Conference. We have yet to see it tonight.
Damon Jones on the take misses, and Nene comes up with the rebound. The Cavs are 7 of 25 from the field, shooting just 28%. Here's Steve Blake, acquired 8 days ago in the trade from Milwaukee. Earl Boykins and Julius Hodge heading to the Bucks, and Blake comes off a career high 25, including 5 threes against his old Portland team.
Edward Nahara out there in the passing lane brings such a spark defensively to this Denver team.
He screwed up this possession twice. 3 to shoot. The rookie Daniel Gibson out of Texas. Bumped by Nene, doesn't make it, and back come the Nuggets the other way.
Great defensive possession there by the Nuggets.
Smith the pass, Nene with the catch, and Yakuba Diawara hits the 3. Diawara, the rookie out of Pepperdine, who is not shy about stroking it from behind the arc, knocks down his 36th 3 of the year.
He's not shy about making them either. 26%. But you know what? He started off the game with a dunk, and a lot of times that can get you going. You get an easy one early and make that 3-pointer a little easier.
Jones over J.R. Smith misses, and Nahara gets the rebound.
But we did ask George Karl if there were any restrictions on who could shoot 3-pointers, and George did tell us that Diawara has been spoken to.
Blake, the dump down to Nene, and free throws are coming. You know, Blake's addition to this team has really helped Denver's look a little bit in the first couple of games, and of course it all matters when Carmelo Anthony returns in 2 games. That'll be on Monday. Let's check in with the 4th person on our team. A good evening to WNBA star Kara Lawson. Kara.
Well, hey, guys, I talked with Coach Mike Brown before the game, and one of the things that he talked about was their struggles offensively in that last loss against Portland. JB talked about only 7 assists. So the thing for the Cavs tonight, he talked about ball movement, getting the ball from side to side, and being able to get into multiple pick and rolls to try and get out of those offensive doldrums. Back to you.
And Kara, those 7 assists were the second lowest in Cavalier franchise history. You have to go back, as a matter of fact, to 1977 to find a lower assist total for a Cleveland team.
Bingo Smith. He's probably there at 77, right?
77?
Oh, that's pretty
Absolutely.
impressive, Bill. Come on.
Nate Thurmond, Austin Carr, what a team. But the Cavaliers, after shooting 30% or 35% for the game against Portland, they're shooting 29% tonight, and let the Nuggets shoot over 52%. The only positive for the Cavaliers right now is that they've taken 13 free throw attempts.
Campy Russell and Austin Carr were the top scorers on that 77 Cavs team, for those of you who were wondering at home. And not one of the great Cleveland teams of all time. They did manage to win 35 games as the Cavs cut into this largest lead of the night and get it down to 13.
But in that Cavaliers team's defense, Mike, it was the previous year, one of only 2 times in franchise history, 1976 and 1992, that the Cavaliers have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Bill Fitch, the coach of those teams, 10 to shoot, as it's worked around one more time for a 3 from the rookie Diawara, but Nahara keeps it alive.
Denver, the 2nd leading rebounding team in the entire NBA. Cleveland is 4th. Steve Blake playing very good basketball since he's come over, just his 3rd game now for George Karl.
Nene on Ilgauskas, erased by Z. It'll stay down here with 10 to shoot for Denver.
Nene just doesn't have the lift. He's not getting anything out of his right knee, and you can see. You can really see it.
But he's working harder at it. He's trying to lose weight, trying to get back in shape. Remember, he missed all of last season, just 24 coming back from a devastating knee injury. And a 3-point play opportunity for Nahara.
Off the nice feed from J.R. Smith, and he'll have a chance for the 3-point play. You talked a moment ago, John, about Nene, and Kara Lawson has more on that right knee injury.
Yeah, well, guys, one of the goals for Nene is to try to get as fit as possible. And I talked with Steve Hess, the Nuggets strength and conditioning coach, before the game. And he's in a little bit of a weight loss program. He's been on the program for 10 days. It's eating 6 small meals a day. And he said that Nene is following it. He's doing a good job. And how about this, guys? His 11 p.m. snack is vegetables every night.
That's nice. Very much like you, Bill.
When I played, granted this was in another century, but
It was.
it was, I ate 6 meals a day of all I could eat, and I would still lose weight.
Here is James, got Diawara in the air, count it with 1. for LeBron. So James, coming off the bench, 1 of 6, has hit a couple of field goals here, trying to ignite this Cleveland crew.
This has got to be the guy that puts an end to the way the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing. They've come out here and lackluster, down by 14. They have 9 field goals. 7 of those field goals are in the paint. So what does that tell you? Get the ball inside. Don't settle for jump shots. No one's making them. LeBron makes a tough shot there. He's obviously capable of that, but he's got to take the reins of this team and get this thing turned around.
Where's the spark? Where's the charge? Where's the emotional leadership? I thought that was an offensive foul on LeBron James, jumping into a vertically planed defender.
Nene gets the hoop inside, and it's back to a 43-28 lead.
But the worst thing for Cleveland, they're not denying guard penetration whatsoever.
Daniel Gibson, the rookie out of Texas, a second-round pick for the Cavs, hits the 3, gets into a little bit of a Denver-type tempo, a little up and down at the moment. Nahara spins inside. Good ball movement. Blake, the 3. Well, Steve Blake is shooting lights out here during this run in Denver. Hit 5 threes, as I mentioned, in the 25-point performance in Portland earlier this week.
Great offense there. Great ball movement. Diawara had a shot. Gave it up, found Steve Blake, who's a much better three-point shooter.
Here's James taking over a little bit as he drives, draws the D, and allows Hughes to hit a 3 as Larry knocks down his first long ball of the night.
Like I said, they haven't made any jumpers, so 2 straight threes.
Larry Hughes, such a barometer. When he plays, this Cavalier team is so good. J.R. Smith starting to heat up. J.R. Smith, though, he tends to get into his post-shot celebration before it even goes in.
Agent Zero. Do you think he's Agent Zero?
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, Steve Blake, too good, too quick. Smith.
Wait, he put up 3 fingers. That's only 2.
A high point total for the Nuggets here. 50 points in a quarter and a half. And Mike Brown, whose team prides itself on improved defense, stops it here, with the Nuggets getting 21 off their bench, including J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith so intent on putting on the show, never let it get in the way of the game.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by TGI Fridays Restaurants, where the 3-course menu is back. Everyone could use more Fridays.
And that's 12 in a row for Phoenix. They've won 28 of their last 30. Cleveland will see Phoenix when they go home in 9 days. This is the back end of a long road trip, games 6 and 7. The Nuggets tonight, tomorrow a trip to Golden State. It's been a good month. They started off well, Cleveland rolling through the first part of January, but that loss at Phoenix has kind of set them sour a little bit. Beat the Clippers 6 nights ago, but the back-to-back losses in the Northwest on the 16th to Seattle and on the 17th to the aforementioned Blazers by 18. And Mike Brown telling us that, this is a team, obviously best record in the Eastern Conference, guys. Won a series over Washington last year, lost to the Pistons in the 7-game second-round series. They are still taking those maturing process steps. A lot of players back on this team, but they've run into a bit of a problem here the last couple of games.
Mike, the Cavaliers started the season beautifully. They were 6-2, then Larry Hughes sprained his ankle, was out for 10 games, double-digit games. And they really haven't come back to that level where they were so good, so promising against Detroit in that second round a year ago. But right now it's the Denver bench that's just been magnificent. 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists collectively. J.R. Smith into the pose again before the shot even went down.
James gets his 3rd rebound, works on the rookie Diawara, but the defensive help was there from Canby, and he draws the offensive foul, the first on LeBron tonight. Iverson checks back in.
Great job by Marcus Camby. Just barely gets out of the restricted area. Marcus Camby not afraid to take charges. He's a great shot blocker, but he does a nice job of taking charges.
That's how he broke his hand, though. He took a charge and he fell down, put his hand back out. He's playing with that badly broken bone in his right hand. Only missed 4 games with that. Marcus Camby, 3rd in the league in rebounding, 4th in blocked shots. And here's a jumper.
An air ball for Canby, who scored 11 points and had 6 rebounds in the first. James right at Blake. The powerful move. He almost got too close to finish. And the rebound by Nene.
Beautiful outlet to Iverson.
The lob for Canby. Almost sweet stuff.
Ultimately, George Karl will have to use Nene and Marcus Camby together.
James double who's open. What a pass behind the back to Gooden to draw a couple of free throws.
But Nene's only able to play about 20 minutes a game right now, coming back from that knee surgery. George Karl trying to get him to 25. 3 fouls now on Nene. Camby playing with 2 of his own.
So the free throws and getting to the free throw line that got this team going in the early going might continue here with the foul trouble in the bigs. So here's Drew Gooden coming off a poor game after a good stretch. The start of January, he had a 4-game stretch where he's shooting 62% from the field, 13 boards, 20 points. One more free throw coming tomorrow on NBA TV. Knicks will be in Indiana to take on the Pacers. It is NBA Sunday on ABC with a rematch of the NBA Finals. The Mavericks and Heat. Coverage begins 12:30 Eastern with the pregame. TNT on Thursday has the scorching hot Mavericks in Chicago and the Nets on their West Coast trip at the Clippers. Gooden gets one, but the Cavs keep the possession alive.
Cleveland doesn't appear to like this up-tempo game. And Denver, by the numbers, is the most up-tempo team in the entire NBA. LeBron James frustrated as can be. And all Mike Brown can do is drop his head in dismay. The ball right on the mark, and he just dropped it. Where would you like it next time?
Hit him in a bad spot, Bill.
Where, in the hands?
In the hands.
In the hands in front of the numbers? Excuse me.
Iverson pitched it to Blake. Reggie Evans set the screen. Blake draws them all and finds Camby. You know, a lot of people didn't like the basketball part of the trade. Boykins for Blake with Milwaukee as Gibson misses the 3. But it's worked out well in the early sample these first couple of games. Camby went to the deck along with Gibson. It's kept alive, but thrown away by Gooden. Blake has Reggie Evans running with him. And there he is, coming down the lane. What a find by Steve Blake.
Mike Brown needs a lot more than a timeout right now. His team looks absolutely demoralized. They are just walking up the court, and all Mike Brown can do is bring Zydrunas Ilgauskas into the game.
This is a team that's supposedly built on defense. 54 points with 3 minutes to go. And they continue to take long jump shots. This seems like there's no direction out here. This team, like we said, lost 2 games in a row. This is a fast break where there's all 5 Nugget players are down there, and we see 2 Cavaliers.
But don't guys, you both have experienced it as you look at Blake's accomplishments, the national championship in the backcourt with Juan Dixon, who's still up there in Portland, where Blake played last year. Don't you go through stretches like this in a season, especially at the back end of a West trip? Iverson with his beautiful move.
But you should not have these stretches when you have LeBron James on your team. And it's LeBron's responsibility to challenge his guys, to get in their face. And if they don't respond, just take the ball and do it by yourself.
Well, he has scored above his season average on this trip, averaging 30 points per game.
And I can't believe that we're hearing boos from the crowd whenever LeBron handles the ball. What has he done wrong?
James has 11 points, 5 boards, 4 assists in this first half. It is Denver by 17. They led by as many as 19. Ilgauskas sitting there. Iverson ran into him, and Allen took the worst of it up by his left shoulder, but it's out of bounds off Cleveland. Nuggets ball. No foul after this timeout. We'll check on if it's just another of the many bumps accumulated over the career of Allen Iverson, who has 10 points, and he's a game and a half away from getting Carmelo Anthony back as a running mate here in Denver. Thank you, Fred. This guy played football in his high school days and, of course, chose basketball, but had a little football-type collision with the big old right thigh as Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Iverson has been rubbing up that shoulder area up by the left shoulder and neck throughout this timeout, but he's going to check back in. 2:42 to go. Nuggets leading 56-39.
One of the biggest goals for Mike Brown is to get his Cavalier team to learn how to win on the road. Now, they're only 8-12 on the road, which some people might think is very good, but when you're the top team in the Eastern Conference by the numbers, you're fantastic at home, 15-3 on this season, 26 out of the last 29. You have got to start concentrating on winning these ever so tough Big Friday night road games.
Marcus Camby, another hoop, 7 of 11 from the field, 15 points, 7 rebounds.
And only one of those wins is versus a team over 500. So the wins that they do have are not impressive wins. And hey, they got to go to Golden State tomorrow as Ilgauskas runs into Iverson again.
And we talked up-tempo with the numbers showing that Denver's the most up-tempo team in the entire NBA. Golden State right there with Phoenix as well. And with the big trade they made, they're looking to even get it going faster. Not quite sure what Ilgauskas is trying to do out there. He's not going to be able to guard Allen Iverson.
Well, he's got each shoulder, the left and the right, with that right thigh out by the three-point arc. Kleza works around him with 8 to shoot. The second-year man out of Missouri, Linus Kleza, extends the Denver lead to 21. And guys, during this stretch without Carmelo Anthony, who returns from his 15-game suspension on Monday, we haven't seen Denver put up the high point totals they were earlier in the year. James gets the basket. But a good offensive showing in their last outing with 109 and 57% from the field here tonight.
When Carmelo comes back, he will have been out 36 days. He will have an adjustment period.
Yeah, but they're going to get those points back, believe me. This team is going to be a prolific scoring team.
An easy feed, but Zydrunas couldn't finish. It's just a tough night shooting for the Cavs. 36%.
After 35% in Portland just 2 nights ago.
Kleza rimmed out the 3. Varejao the rebound with 1:10 left here in the half.
A lot of balls going in and out tonight on both ends.
Hughes misses. Blake gets the board. Kleza runs left.
Love the way Blake pushes that ball. George Karl very pleased with the contributions that Steve Blake has made. And this is the best I've ever seen Linus Kleza play. Who just happens to hail from the same hometown as Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
We talked about Allen Iverson. This is a huge football weekend with the conference championships. Kind of brings us back to Allen Iverson's great days at Bethel High School in Virginia. Look at Iverson, a terrific athlete, as you heard, and watch him here on a punt return. Big magic happened. Of course, Allen was courted, and that area, that Tidewater area, that Virginia area, became so fertile for football players. It helped build Virginia Tech's very successful program, and Iverson a great star.
I think his coach said he was the best player he's ever seen. Football player.
And that was maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah,
and he still is running that same exact way. And all the punishment that this guy takes. Allen did tell us that he is at least number 5 or 6 in terms of tattooed numbers on this Denver team.
And he can't stand the pain of the tattoos, so he's not going to do any more tattoos. But yet he can come out here and get blasted by Zydrunas Ilgauskas and guys as he goes to the basket.
We have a timeout as Linus Kleza had blood on his uniform. That has to be removed. Of course, we're seeing Iverson. We're also seeing LeBron James in this game. James was a first-team All-State wide receiver in Ohio in his high school football days. We have the Toyota halftime show coming up. There's a little bit of football news with a new coach in Miami, but the big NBA stories, Suns get another one, the thrilling overtime in Minnesota, and heartbreak at the Garden, it says here. So we'll see what happened with the Knicks and Nets as Fred and the guys have the Toyota halftime show coming up in a moment.
I heard Bill was a great linebacker back in the day.
Yes.
Is that true, Bill?
Middle linebacker and tight end.
Unbelievable. John Matusak, kind of, huh?
And one of the great scenes in the history of sports media, John Matusak.
Oh, James goes baseline.
Oh, man.
15 points for LeBron, 5 boards, 4 assists.
He's just a man-child. You see how easy he does that? It's just unbelievable.
Kleza keeps this one alive. Reggie Evans, nice dish to Nahara. And those are the guys out there on the floor that I love watching this Nugget team. Iverson and Carmelo, they're going to get all the attention, but Kleza and Nahara and Evans just get dirty, grinding, keep possession alive, guys.
And George Karl now drops his team back into a zone. This second tier level of players for George Karl has been magnificent tonight as they just give up a layup.
Varejao finds the weak spot. Still plenty of time for Iverson to Kleza. Could not beat the clock with a 3 as we get to halftime. So Denver puts up